What's up, functional bodybuilders? I'm going to be covering a little bit of a coach breakdown on the Cossack Squat today. The Cossack Squat is this exercise where I'm moving onto one leg, doing a one-legged squat in this frontal plane. The reason I love to use this exercise is for that reason. Single leg strength is really important to your lower body health, and it's the only movement that we have where we're moving side to side in the frontal plane. Most of our single leg protocols are in this plane, which is considered sagittal plane. And when we work in this frontal plane, we're starting to incorporate an entirely different portion of the lower leg for flexibility. This interior or this inside compartment of the leg is the adductor, the groin. People call it a bunch of different things, but we're getting a great stretch in there while we're strengthening this working and bending leg. It's really important that as we progress in the Cossack squat, we're focusing on great range of motion. I see people make a common mistake of doing Cossack squats where they really don't go down very far. This is kind of like a partial squat, and it doesn't really provide the same range of motion, mobility benefits, as well as strength benefits of doing the full range. So that's where people get tripped up. They don't do it necessarily because they're trying to cheat the movement, but they lack the mobility. So let me show you two regressions that are going to help you get down into this position if you're either tight in your ankle or tight in your hip. The first one you could try is simply lifting the heel up onto a plate. Lifting the heel up onto a plate is going to give you more ankle flexibility or, range in your hip because you're going to overcome ankle stiffness. Now, I like that as an option. Alternatively, if you have access to a ring, strap, or something that you can hold on to like this, if you use that to counterbalance some of your weight, you can be leaning back further, keeping a more upright torso, and you can see I'm able to keep my foot fully flat. Now, some of the mistakes that I see people making in the Cossack squat is coming up on the toe. Now, coming up on the toe like this with a little bit of a lift, so long as there's no pain and you're not loading it, is okay, all right? Because we're trying to progress to foot flat on the ground. If you're having your heel come up a lot on every single rep, one, if you're feeling pain, go back to one of these regressions, probably the rings. Number two, if you have your heel coming up, I don't want to see you loading the exercise. Loading the exercise at that point is it's progressing too quickly. Get your heel onto a good surface, then you can practice loading with a goblet, or continue to stay doing body weight if your heel is coming up until that flexibility in the ankle starts to loosen up. So those are my tips for you on how to improve your Cossack squat. Get into it safely, regress if you need to, and know when to load or not to load. We'll see you next time.